Do you feel like you're losing it a little bit? But at the same time, maybe you feel like you're awakening too? Or do you feel disconnected, a little bit confused? Maybe even like life is falling apart? Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not losing it. Your life isn't going to the crapper. Most likely you're having a spiritual awakening, and it's going to be okay. So what is a spiritual awakening? Basically, the short version is, there's all different ways people experience a spiritual awakening, but I think the best way to summarize what it is that you're awakening to a new, broader, more expanded perspective. You're awakening to truth. And what happens when you go through a spiritual awakening is you are also raising your vibration to more alignment with the divine vibration instead of lower energies like anger, hatred, all those things. You're awakening to a broader idea of life and a greater expanded idea of life, which is a higher vibration, more in alignment and more in truth with the divine. And what happens is those things that no longer serve you, that no longer are in alignment with these higher vibrations, they bubble to the surface or fall away. And consequently, there are a number of things that can happen as this is going on. But all I know is from personal experience, it feels like crap. So don't worry. Let's go over a couple of the symptoms that might point in the direction of you're not losing it, you're just having a spiritual awakening. So the first one is feeling somewhat emotionally unstable. It can come in the form of feeling overwhelmed, confused, even thoughts of, am I going crazy? I remember when I was first awakening to this broader idea, and I started recognizing things in myself I didn't really like, but I had not seen before because I was sleeping. When I started realizing these things, not only did I feel like I was going crazy, I felt like, oh my God, I'm not a good person. I thought I was a good person. And I also wanted to go back to sleep. It's like, it might be easier to go back to sleep. It's not. It's not easier to be unconscious. It's a lot more painful. Yes, it can feel very uncomfortable going through the journey, especially in the initial stages, but they don't last. And on the other side is greater happiness, greater stability, greater peace. It's bringing me to tears. So just know that that is on the other side of this momentary discomfort. So the second symptom is like, you could call it a loss of identity. Feeling like, who the heck am I? I remember when I was in the beginning stages of my awakening. I'm still on the journey, right? Certainly no expert, but I'm been at this 30 years. And in the beginning, I remember having this amazing realization that, like, I've talked about this in another video, I walked around like a know-it-all. And somebody kind of confronted me with it when I was on a spiritual retreat. And I went and did like a walking meditation to contemplate it and look at it and own it. And I came to realize that it all came from feeling stupid. Like, I felt so stupid inside and I didn't want to feel that. So I covered it up with, I know, oh, I know this, I know that, I'm the expert. Oof, embarrassing. But anyway, when I came to that realization and owned it, and it fell away, that whole construct, that mental construct of I know what I'm talking about, that I know it all identity, when that fell away, there was this feeling of the rug shifting beneath me, or like how do I be without that? Who am I without that part of me? But trust me, it's okay and it will pass. And what's really happening is the construct or the identity or the things that are falling away are keeping you enclosed, like trapped in a box. And when they first fall away, you can feel, whether it's mentally feel it or intuitively feel it, you feel this bigger, expansive state, and it feels a little weird, like you've been in this box and now there's no box. So it feels strange, but the more you grow, you get stabilized in that space. So do not worry, and you are not going crazy. You are not going crazy. I know people, I was just talking to a spiritual friend who, when they were going through this stage, they actually did think they were going crazy and went to a doctor, and who put them, of course, on medication, doing the best that the doctor knew how to do. And, that brought on other problems. So, look, I'm all for medical intervention when necessary, but if you're going through a spiritual awakening, you're not going crazy. It just kind of feels that way at times. Then the next symptom can be exhaustion, overwhelm, because so many things are changing. And depending upon you and what you're going through, different people go through it differently, but you might be going through it rapidly and having many new experiences all at once, or new intuition. And this can make you tired. It can make, your dreams more vivid. So maybe you're not sleeping as well, or it seems like you're not sleeping as well. Or again, this like overwhelm and things like that. So that can be a symptom. Don't let that freak you out either. It's okay. Sleep will return. It will. Another symptom, I forgot, that was 3. This is number 4. Fourth symptom is feeling like, how can I put this? It seems like you're extra sensitive to things. Like, best way I can describe it is, I in my teenage years into my 20s, my spiritual awakening was in my mid to later 20s, which was, all right, let's not discuss how many years ago. It was a couple years ago, well, 1 or 2. But anyway, during that time, prior to it, I loved scary movies, scary rides, scary like horror shows, horror houses. I loved being scared. And I had no problem watching, not that they were my favorite or whatever, but I didn't have a problem watching violent movies. Now I cannot watch a violent movie. I don't choose to either. I mean, I could, but I don't choose to. It grates against my intuitive sense, I'm going to say. So it's not that I would say, it's not that you're becoming more sensitive, you're becoming more aware. And your intuition is awoken and awakening. So that can really open up senses, let's put it that way. You might feel how people are feeling. I'm going to do a video on how to have control over that so you don't become overwhelmed by other people's feelings. But let's just continue on with the various symptoms. So the other one, due to this sensitivity, leads right into the 5th symptom, which is wanting to isolate or feeling like you don't fit in anymore. And this can be at first a little scary, a little disconcerting. You know, why, like, you don't want to hang out with certain friends anymore, or you don't fit in with certain friends anymore, or your friends all want to go out partying or whatever the case may be, or to a horror movie and you don't want to go, or they're all talking about something gossipy or whatever, and you don't want to partake in that. So it's really, again, a change, and change can feel unstabilizing, and it can feel strange, but you're going to find new friends, trust me. And there are so many people out there like yourself going through this in different stages of it, and the friends that you will make as you grow and expand are amazing friends. Amazing friends. That much I can almost guarantee. So just know also that with this, wanting to isolate, it's not so much that you want to be alone, but you need to integrate. There's a lot going on. You need a little time to contemplate, maybe journal, meditate, walks in nature. Here's my tips, right? So I went right into the tips without warning you that's where we were. So grab a pen and a paper. Here are some tips to help you through this. If only I remembered what I was going to say. Tips. Okay. Meditation. Walking in nature. That's a really big one. Walking in nature. And just being alone in nature. If you hike, walk, park, lake, river, forest, beach, all of those can be really beneficial. Journaling what you're going through, what you're experiencing. And I also love contemplation. It's a little different than meditation. Let me tell you what I mean by contemplation. Contemplation, it's not thinking. It's not the kind of thinking where, what does this mean? Where your mind starts to spin. Contemplation is gentle, and it's a back and forth motion. So it's like, I wonder why this is coming up for me, or why I feel this way. And then put your attention on something else. This is why nature is so good. Oh, there's a bird flying in the, up to that tree. I wonder why I feel this way. Oh, look at that pretty stream. I wonder why. Oh, look at those flowers. Aren't they so pretty? And take a moment with the flowers. Go back to contemplating what's happening with you. That's contemplation. It's a very gentle back and forth. And that back and forth can really bring answers. Another tip is I pray to be shown and to be helped. I have, in another video, I have a very deep story. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it, where I prayed to help understand something, and I got the most divine answer during a meditation. So anyway, all of these things can help, and I hope they help you. So, which of these have you experienced? Or is there one that I haven't mentioned? If you want, mention it in the comments. And if this was helpful, try this video here. It's a grounding meditation, and it'll really, really, really help get you through this journey.